Yo, what's up, boys? I'm just reviewing the footage now, and I realised that it's all fucked up. I don't know what that annoying sound is, but I will put subtitles on the video in case you want to just like mute or something. I don't know. I don't know why it fucked up. I'm sorry. If the other, I haven't watched the other two yet, but if they're the same, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I might just redo the audio in like post credits, but that's gonna take a fucking ages to do, especially on this one because it's like fucking half an hour, not quite 25 minutes. Anyways, that's all. Ciao.
Alright. How we doing, bruh? Hope we're doing good. I'm finally not sick. Just finished my day at uni. Wasn't too bad. A little bit fucked, but you know, nothing crazy. Oh, it has been a while since I've recorded and uploaded. It took me a hot minute to get over whatever I had. Flu, whatever. I took a few days off from the gym too, which is a bit unlike me. Anyways, it'll be fine. It's fine. Some fresh air in this bitch. Today's video. Why being a loser, loser's the wrong word. Why being unpopular in high school is a blessing in disguise. Now, I was probably considered unpopular. Well, it depends how you define being unpopular. If being unpopular is just not hanging out with the popular kid, the cool kids, then a lot of people are unpopular. But if you're considering unpopular as disliked by a large group of people in high school, then that's a bit different. That's a bit more likely. You're a bit more likely to be considered unpopular. But I'm just gonna say I wasn't. People definitely didn't like me. Like, I guess that's fair enough to say. And I wasn't part of the popular groups. Like, I knew a couple of them, in classes with some of them, and played basketball with a few and whatnot. So I was kind of on the edges, kind of on the outskirts. So if I was in the right crowd, sure, I could have been considered popular. Nah, not really. But yeah, I wasn't in that tight-knit popular group. I wasn't getting invited to parties and all that very often. So it's safe to say that shitty interaction. It's safe to say that I'm not a typical popular kid in high school, so I'll consider myself unpopular for the sake of this video. And so I wasn't going to parties, I wasn't going out drinking and all that. And at the time, I wanted to hang out and go to parties and drink and do stupid shit, typical teenager stuff. The average person in my generation is doing partying, drinking, drugs, even all that stuff, hookups, all that shit stuff. Anyways, so I always wanted to go out, and whether it was my thing or not, I never really found out, but I wanted to go and experience it and spend like a good while just experiencing what the party life was like. But I never really got a chance to. So it was at the time I felt kind of like an outcast because everyone was getting invited to these parties, and you'd come back from a weekend. Oh, did you go to this party? And I'm like, nah, didn't get invited. And they'd be talking. My friend group will be talking about this one party they went to and all this shit that happened and whatnot. I'd be like, oh yeah, must have been nice, wanted to be there, but couldn't, and all that shit. So it was kind of just like, especially in my last couple of years of high school, I was just kind of like, everyone was going to parties and drinking and having a good time, and I was just sitting at home. It was before I really got started on self-improvement and taking my business aspect of my life seriously. So I was just going home, playing video games, doing whatever, jerking off, all that stuff. Kind of just being a lonely motherfucker. I was literally the only one who wasn't being invited to parties very often. Like, I think in my last year of high school, I went to three parties, and they were my super close friends. And it's like, when people are going out to parties every weekend, even more than a few a weekend, it's like, oh, only 3? It's like, it's almost an achievement, really. But, yeah. It got to a point where I just accepted it, like, now, to go to the party on the weekend, no. And it kind of just got used to it. And once I had gotten onto proper self-improvement, it seemed like I found out that the party and drinking culture is actually super bad, super toxic. And I didn't know any of this because I hadn't experienced it, and my friends were still hooked on it, or not hooked, but still doing it quite regularly. So, and I just wanted to fit in. I feel like that's nearly every person's desire, really, to fit in, really at any age, but more so at those teenage high school years. You want to fit in and all that. So I didn't care that it was considered unhealthy or toxic or any of that stuff. And it isn't until recently where I've been doing self-reflection. I've been really kind of identifying what I do and don't want to spend my time doing. And I sat down and had to think about actually what goes on in these kind of environments, and none of it really appealed. Like, it was alcohol. I never really got into drinking because my parents didn't really encourage it. Like, they weren't against it under 18, but there's a pretty big drinking culture even underage in Australia. So they weren't against it, but it wasn't really encouraged in our household. So because I wasn't going to parties, I wasn't really around that, and so I just didn't feel the need to drink alcohol. And the same with drugs, I guess, or not hard drugs, but like weed and all that. It just wasn't. I wasn't around it, so I didn't know what I was missing out on. If you even say that, missing out. So I kind of developed a dislike without realizing towards these bad habits, and I kind of developed. So now I don't drink alcohol whatsoever. I'm fully against it. I believe it's literally ingesting poison. So I've been like that for 18 months maybe. So, and it just seems like that decision, I may not notice it now, is going to be one of the most beneficial things I can do, when I don't want to say like 90%, but so many people my age are just drinking and going out and harming their bodies willingly, which is crazy. Because unless you're like mentally not okay, you don't go out and start physically hurting yourself. It's just not something you do. So to willingly ingest things that you know are bad for you, like, it's the epitome of instant gratification, drinking, in my opinion, because all you're doing is you ingest this liquid that most of the time you're not entirely sure what it is, and because people don't know what vodka's made up of, and what the actual components of vodka is, and beer and wine and all these spirits. They don't know what it's comprised of. I don't either. I haven't done my research. So to put something in your body that makes you feel good at the time, or I don't even think you feel good really. I'm not sure about other people, but the only times I've experienced alcohol and being drunk, I just haven't been good. I know most people at the time, most people really enjoy being drunk. What the fuck? Being drunk and whatnot. And then afterwards, obviously, the hangover and they're regretting their life decisions. But yeah, I kind of got that before or during. So it was like, there's no benefit to this. I'm getting nothing out of it if I'm not enjoying even the instant gratification part of it. So I just figured, well, I may as well just not drink at all. I'm gonna save money because alcohol in Australia is fucking expensive, like crazy expensive. And let me in. Thank you. Alcohol's crazy expensive, so I'm saving myself fuckloads of money versus people who drink frequently, and I'm keeping my body in good condition. So it just seems like there's no reason for me to be at parties, and I've tried the whole being sober at parties, and if you haven't done it, don't comment on it. That shit fucking sucks. When everyone around you is drunk and having a good time, and you're the only one standing there being sober, like I'm not a naturally extroverted person, so it is. I've definitely done it and managed, but it's just not. It's not fun being sober when no one else is, because they're all just fucking not thinking properly. You can't even have a conversation with someone because they're all fucking drunk. So I'm just like, yeah, basically just there with my own thoughts, with probably a water or even a soft drink, and just kind of just pretending to have a good time. I did a lot of that when I was at parties sober. A lot of pretending to be not maybe not pretending to be drunk, but pretending to have a good time when I know I just completely didn't enjoy it. So I ended up just giving up the true typical party culture altogether, because there was nothing. I was getting nothing out of it, and there was just only negatives. I could only name negatives, and so I used a little bit of common sense and figured, why the fuck am I even bothering? What am I missing out on? And so I just gave up. Accepted that even though I'm not getting invited, I don't want to go anyway. So they're actually doing me a favour by not inviting me. And I thought back every now and then that if I was getting invites to parties, I probably would have gone, because, like I said, I just wanted to fit in. And that's what everyone was doing. So I would have just gone along, probably drunk a lot more, and probably would have maybe not gotten used to, but started to enjoy the whole drinking culture more, which in hindsight is not good. It's fucking not good. So me not getting invites, and I'm not sure if other people are like this, I believe there would be, not getting invited, not being seen as popular, so getting invited to parties and degenerate activities, because that's mostly what it is, these popular kids do, degenerate activities. So I'm not getting invited, so I'm not exposing myself, and I can figure out what I want to do, and gladly I've found habits, looking after my body, that are going to pay dividends, not only now but in the long term. So I've come to the conclusion that being unpopular was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because, like I said, I wasn't being exposed to all these toxic, degenerate environments. So I wasn't inclined to delve into it. I wasn't inclined to do any of that stuff. And every now and then I go meet up with my old friend group, my friends from primary school who I was super close with, but we drifted because we went to different high schools. Similar to how college works, but on a less scale. So I can still go and see them if I wanted. We just kind of didn't, because we weren't in contact. We didn't really speak much, you know. It's just the kind of thing happens quite a bit. And I go and see them once or twice a year maybe, and I love them, but they're all fucking degenerates. Like, all they talk about is how fucked up someone got on the last party they went to. And these guys are going out. Some of them are working full time, some of them are uni. My closest mate from high school went to uni. He actually got a higher ATAR than me. But yeah, he ended up going to uni, but he still drinks and has done most of the drugs under the sun, I believe, and whatnot, and hookups and all that stuff. And this group is so degenerate, and so much more degenerate than my current friend group. So you've got kind of my friend group in terms of degenerate levels, then them up here, and me kind of like down here. I'm not saying I'm super not degenerate. I still got some bad habits, but you know, we're working on it. And yeah, I just sit there and think to myself, these guys are fucking. They may get jobs and end up having a stable life, but the chances of them actually becoming super successful are almost zero. And I'm not sure if it's just a skill that I've learned, being on self-improvement, but I feel like you can just pick it. You can almost just look at someone and go, yeah, nah. Or you talk to someone and see what they do with their free time. You go, yeah, nah, you haven't got much of a future at your current pace. You're gonna have to let me in, bro. I need to get across. You see my indicator? You see my indicator, you fucking idiot? People cannot drive. What was I saying? Yeah, people aren't going anywhere with their lives, and like these guys I spent all my primary school with, so 6 years, and I was really close with them, and most of them I've known since before primary school, right when they were little fucking little midgets, little people, and it's kind of disheartening to see that we came from almost the exact same background, and that's what they've chosen to do with their time. And it's like, I know most of the guys, they're not idiots. Like, they had, one of them even was fucking most likely to be successful coming out of primary school. Like, he was doing well, and then I guess he just got with the wrong crowd, and yeah. So, moral of the story is, if you're in high school or even college in America or uni here, and you are not popular, don't see that as a bad thing. It's most definitely not, and you'll keep yourself away from potentially harmful opportunities. Putting yourself in potentially harmful environments that you may regret later on, you may not, or you may just accept being all you've known and killing most of your potential. And none of us want to do that. We want to reach the maximum potential possible. I don't care who you are. Oh, that's a beautiful Porsche. It's beautiful. And so, we all know, we're all in self-improvement. We all know bad habits, drinking, drugs, junk food, all that's not good for you. But being with the wrong crowds and being which is normally being popular, is going to you're more likely going to accept those bad habits just so you can fit in, and it'll be so much more difficult for you to step away or from that group, because that's all you've got. Like, normally if you got one friend group, you don't bother. You rather develop that friend group than make another. And so I believe that, putting yourself in the right crowd is one of the best ways to set yourself up for success. It is a tough one, because in high school you kind of you don't want to fuck with your friendships, but once you learn that being on your own is better than being with the wrong people, you'll be amazed as to how far you can go, and how much bad influences were holding you back. And I did it. I don't really go and see my friends outside of sport. I play basketball, organised basketball twice a week, and I might see my mates at the gym. But apart from that, I don't go out of my way to go and see them, which I know isn't great for social skills and whatever. But I'd rather just sit down and focus and get myself to a point where not I can relax, but things are going in the way I want, because I know at this point in my we'll say business career, but including YouTube and all that, it is so important that I get a good foundation going and get into a good rhythm, especially when I've got uni and actual work I have to go to, and all other stuff, gym, all these commitments. It's important that I get into a good rhythm, and then I know that going out with some friends I won't be drinking again, or I don't drink extremely rarely, so I won't be going out for drinks with them every week, but going out and seeing something, doing something fun, I don't know. In the summertime, maybe going to a water park or shit like that, like fun shit. Going and just having a good time. And I believe that is so much better than just doing degenerate things. Oh, that's about it, I believe. What are we, 22 minutes in? That's a good effort. Kind of just get carried away talking. I hope you just get the preface of this video. I'm gonna upload it regardless. So if one person gets something out of this video, then this was worth it. And I am more than happy if I help one person every video. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. Obviously, I want to help more people, but at this point in time, while I'm still very small in terms of my audience, if I can help one person, or even get one person to consider it or have a think about it, go sit down and have a good hard think, then that's all I can ask for. Anyways, I'm going to pump out a few in the car ride home, because I've been slacking recently, so next one will be almost straight away after this. So if you are going to watch these in a row, if you are coming back you're here in a few months' time, and I've got like 3 or 4 videos of me in the same car, the same clothes, then you'll know that I'm smashing these out, and hey, I love you, bro. Anyways, that's it for this one. Don't forget that life is what you make it.